See, Red Nation, what is good? Bulls on a nice little 2-game win streak. And I'm here to tell you why the piece that we were looking for all along is not a player, but instead Billy Donovan. Let's talk about it starting now. If you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports weekly and we don't want you to miss a thing, so make sure that you hit that bell. The Chicago Bulls on a nice little 2-game win streak after beating the Dallas Mavericks and the Houston Rockets, both teams that have some good talent on that team, especially seeing Oli's debut last night. But it's weird, right? Like, I'm watching this team this season and I'm like, the pieces aren't different. What's the missing piece here? What has changed? What's been the biggest difference for the Chicago Bulls team early on in this season? And I mean, to me, it's very clear. The missing piece that we were missing all along is good coaching, solid coaching, smart coaching. And I mean, in situational moments, we're seeing this. And so I have to give the nod to a guy who I did not think when he was released that I wanted on this team. But now, man, Billy Donovan. Hats off to you. Hats off to you, Billy Donovan. The way that Billy's really been able to change everything that this team is about, the dynamic of the Chicago Bulls, the mentality of the Chicago Bulls is the thing that speaks most to his talent as a head coach. And to me, it's not just from an X's and O's standpoint. There's a couple things that you look at from Billy Donovan, and you really have to say that he has changed this Bulls team completely. He's revamped it, and now he's shaping it in the way that it needs to be shaped. The first thing for me is situational awareness. I mean, Billy Donovan has this young Bulls team looking at different situations, especially because the Bulls have actually been in a lot of different situations versus top contenders in this league. Been put in situations where, okay, we've got a game-winning situation, or we have to slow them down, or they're going on a run here, and what can we do to either maintain a lead or to go on a lead or to go on a run of our own? You know what I'm saying? What can we do to get the lead in this game? And I think we've seen this Bulls team go through ebbs and flows with it, right? But now it seems like we're coming to a good place here, because in 2 games in a row, you've had teams try to make runs on you to walk down a lead that the Chicago Bulls have built. I believe in the last game, our biggest lead was 14. Game before that, it was 21 versus Dallas. And if you've been in any of the lives with me, you've heard me say it's not about the team making a run, it's about stopping the team's run and continuing with the momentum on the other side. Billy Donovan now has the Chicago Bulls prepared for that, has the Chicago Bulls playing at a different level, and has them looking at those situational moments where, okay, this team is making a run right now. How do we come out on the other side of this where, yeah, they might have walked us down a little bit, but now let's make our run again. I also look at late game execution for the Bulls. In these last couple of games, we've seen them kind of get that late game execution together. In earlier games, especially games where we thought they should have won versus the Kings, versus the Clippers, that late game situational awareness was not there. They were throwing the silly turnover. They were throwing the costly turnover. And we still seen the Bulls have a little issue with the turnover, but at least in these last couple of games, I've noticed that they've really cleaned up that costly turnover that's thrown them off. Now, do I think by any means they're out of the water? No. Do I think that all of a sudden they're going to be a top team in the East and they're ready to go compete? Not yet. But to see them identify an issue and to improve upon that, improve upon those situational moments. Okay, so we got beaten this game because we got walked down from this lead, or because we allowed them to shoot so many threes, or because we weren't switching here on defense. We need to improve on that, and to see that instant improvement in the next game, not weeks down the road. I mean, listen, guys, we're 14 games into the season and we're talking about improvement from the Chicago Bulls. This roster has not changed. Billy Donovan was truly a missing gem that really has come in and changed what the Chicago Bulls have done here. Now, before I continue with the video, I want to know your opinion. How do you feel about Billy Donovan here early in the season? Only 14 games in, realistically. How do you feel about Billy Donovan as the Chicago Bulls head coach? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. The other thing that Billy Donovan has brought that to me is something we haven't seen in a Bulls organization since Thibs, honestly. And even when Thibs was here, it was just like scary aggressive with it, is player development. The Chicago Bulls are developing players, and the crazy part about it is there's a focus on it. There's a concerted effort to do it. Literally, we're seeing players come into games working on things that they need to improve upon every single game. And I mean, honestly, it's to the point where we look at some of the things that some players are doing and we're saying, why is he doing that? And you don't realize that Billy's telling them this is something you need to work on. Let's attack that in the next game. Like it's crazy, especially just how he's not going to allow people to settle. I love that. I love that. Especially with the topic of Kobe White. We know his play has been a little bit up and down this season. He's had some games where he's really popped off, especially scoring wise. But Billy is telling him, I want you to be a point guard. I want you to be one of the best point guards in the NBA. And so that means you have to work on facilitating. That means you have to work on your court vision. That means you have to work on settling your teammates down. He came out pregame in the last game essentially just saying, listen, I want Kobe to be able to be the player that he is, but I also want him to be able to be a point guard, to be able to facilitate the ball, settle his team down in those key moments when another team's making a run, be the leader of the Chicago Bulls team. And I love seeing that Billy Donovan's not just gonna let him settle. He's not just going to let him be the shooter that we're all saying, okay, Kobe White's a 2, just make him a 2. No, he's not going to let that happen. He's going to put Kobe White in situations where he has to be the point guard of this team and he has to make those decisions. Now, does it look pretty at the moment? No, to the point that P Kid, make sure y'all check out P Kid's channel as well, has said on his videos that he's ready to trade Kobe White. You know what I'm saying? And he's not saying he's not a good player. He's just saying that he's not the point guard that the Bulls need for this team. So he's looking to move on from him. And I feel like there's a lot of Bulls fans that feel that same way. He's not the point guard we need. We need a facilitating point guard, not a scoring point guard to say. But Billy Donovan's not here for that. He's literally saying you're going to play the point guard position. You're going to score as well. You're going to find ways to play this point guard position and get yourself going that way. Get your teammates involved that way. And I love that he's just putting a bunch of players in different positions to be successful. He's not putting them out there in positions to fail. He's putting them in positions to be successful. Even you think about what he's done with Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine wants to be the number 1 on this team, wants to be the leader on this team. Okay, if you're going to be the number 1, you're going to be the leader in late game situations. Guess who's guarding the best player on the other team? You have the ability, you have the athleticism, you have the speed to stay in front of guys. You just don't want to. So now let's see you with some want-to in you. And we've seen this year the defensive battery in Zach's back has been out of this world. Now, that's not saying that he's been a dominant two-way player, but he's absolutely played much better defense, and he's looking for the opportunity to play those players down the stretch. And he's doing a decent job playing those players as well. I mean, in all honesty, if you couple that with the development of the young man Pat Williams early, I mean, I'm just looking at this Bulls team with so much excitement, man. I really think Billy Donovan was the missing piece, because you look at this team and the only thing that has changed about this team, other than like Garrett Temple, which has been a huge change for the Bulls too, but other than Garrett Temple, is rookies. This is the same roster that we had last year, guys. This is the same roster essentially that was on the floor last year. But this roster has been better. This roster has been competing more consistently, has been put in better positions to win. And so for that reason alone, I say Billy Donovan was the missing piece the Chicago Bulls have been needing for all these years. But I want to know your opinion. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think of Billy Donovan as the Bulls' new head coach. Let me know what you think of this young Chicago Bulls team. I'll be down there talking with you as well. I am going to get up out of here. It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bulls content. Click the link here. Check the link in the description below. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.